All right, now I'm in the thing, and maybe that'll help. So shrink me back down.
Alrighty, now I'm in the thing. Maybe that'll help.
There we go. Oh shit, that didn't mute you. I'm sorry. I don't think anybody's listening, so that's okay. All right. Well, I think I figured it out. And I need this to do this. I need this here. Do I need this? Maybe. So I'll leave it open. It's on pause. And yeah, we're good to go. This opens. This closes. Look at that. Look at that. I can just do that. Oh, it's even better. That is definitely better. Look at that. Look at that. I can do this. I can do this. Nice. Okay, I'm a master of this now. So if you're joining in, welcome. If you're not, you're not. So live. 3, 2, 1. And welcome everybody. I think I'll need to send a message to start the conversation. So I'll do that with a hello. What do you know? And is that 2? And that's what I do. There we go. Oh, I guess I just said hello twice. That works. So thanks everybody for joining us. And we're trying out a new system over here. I think I've got it mastered. First thing we're going to be taking a look at is these rubber curb ramps.
The streets have these gutters, which are kind of rounded, but they make for kind of a scoop when you go into the driveway. So these Vevor ramps, these, I guess, rubber curb ramps, are solid rubber, really well made. They're going to stay put. There's anchors if you want to put them in securely, and they are going to kind of bridge that gap. They are much easier to transition into the driveway. That's why we got these.
Oh, I think that muted pretty good. So that was the Vevor ramps. I think those are pretty nice. The feedback we've got on them now after a number of days of using them is good. So yeah, definitely like those. Let's see. I wish I could change things on the screen here, but I think what the next thing we'll do is we'll just go in order, and that'll be the weather station. So why don't we look at that in a horizontal? Checking this out. This is the box that it comes in. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. It's not real heavy. We'll open it up. Oh, these should be really nice from Vevor. Let's see what it'll slide right on the side here. We've got the instructions for the weather station. This is going to go up on top of the roof. The other side is going to go inside the house, and it's going to give us all of our information. So you can see that it comes in this nice package. Everything is assembled. All you'll need to do is put this portion up on the roof. So you don't have to put anything together. It has the wind vane for direction, and then we've got the thing for speed. It'll collect rain for rainfall. You will want to make sure that it's lined up with the level there. You'll want to remove this and this right before you install it. And then there's this post here, and that's where the hardware comes in. We've installed one of these on our roof in the past, and it was real simple. This power supply is for the screen that goes indoors. This is everything you need to get everything from rainfall to wind speed, wind direction, temperature, and you get all that displayed inside with comparison to your indoor weather as well, or temperatures as well. This is from Vevor. I always trust them with my weather station needs. Hope this helps. Right on. Yeah, and I really do like the Vevor weather station. I've had one now installed. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to remember. It's been over a year, and that one's up on the roof giving me
2.6 miles per hour, and the direction is on a compass. It's coming from the south almost directly. So let's see, the next thing in the list is this push lawnmower. Out here in Arizona, we don't have like luscious lawns or anything. So most of the time we go with a push mower. I've got a couple of looks at this. Let's take it out of the box.
Time of year, start mowing the lawn. I'm going to use this Vevor push lawnmower this year. This is the box that it shows up in. It's pretty heavy. It's not that heavy, but let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at it. Vevor always has the instructions right on top. Oh, that's nice. It's basically already put together. Let's go ahead and pull it out of the box. Yep, there's just a couple of bars, and then the mower is all assembled.
So with the bag off and everything, we've got the wheels and the blade all assembled. We've got the catchment basket to hold the grass and stuff, and you can see that'll clip in. And then we've got just the bars to assemble to push it. Absolutely no tools needed. Everything goes together with these target starter butterfly nuts. And there it is, all together. Really is very easy to assemble. No tools needed. It has great leverage. There is the tool to adjust the angle of the blades if you need to. Rolls real smoothly. You can see the blades have really good ratio of gearing. So real happy with this one from Vevor. Hope this helps.
Yeah, I'm having some trouble sharing the link on Amazon there, so hopefully people that are joining us there are chatting. There's comments there. Feel free to comment. Let's see, the next thing that we'll be taking a look at would be, of course, the sausage stuffer. So I don't know what you're using to stuff sausages, but at Vevor, they use a pretty elaborate system. There's a number of them. There's one that's a little bit bigger, same exact one as this, but a little bit bigger. And then there's one that's definitely bigger, but it's more round, I guess. So let's take a look at this one.
Got my new Vevor sausage stuffer. So they make a couple of different sizes. This one has the place here where you're going to put your sausage in. So if you ever wanted to make your own sausage and knead up your own recipe with your own ingredients, put it into the big cylinder here. That swings open so you can clean it, of course, and fill it. And then you've got this plunger that I'm going to push down, and I'm using high speed right now. I could also flip this over to a much lower speed as well. And that's going to push and then extrude the sausages into your filler tubes. You can put your sausage casings on here. You got a bunch of different diameters, everything from little cocktail franks up to bratwurst. This thing is really neat. Can't wait to get using it. It's from Vevor. They make a bigger one too if you need it. A little smaller one too. Hope this helps.
So that's a question. Have you ever thought about making your own sausages, your own sausage specific to the spices you like, or obviously the meat blends that you're interested in? Oh no. With this many screens open. Okay, I think I muted that second sneeze. I didn't know where to find the mute button. I do have a loop deck that I'm going to be using, or I do use it, but I'm going to use for streaming. I need to figure out how to get that thing in operation if I'm going to go around sneezing all the time. So I do apologize for sneezing in y'all's ears. But yeah, we were just talking about stuffing sausages. What about if you needed to do some drilling? You needed to do some drilling maybe on the bottom of a boat that's in dry dock? Well, let's take a look at this.
Whenever you have drill jobs that need to be done in place, a magnetic base drill is the way to go. This is the 6-piece set, the MDP 50 from Vevor. This is not a lightweight box, but it's not very big. This is how it arrives. Let's open it up. It seems like the thing to do is to pull off the top here, and it looks like that is the way to go. So we're just going to pull the drill out of the cardboard box that it ships in. It's actually surprisingly lighter than I thought it would be. This box is all cardboard, so it's going to be perfect for storing the drill. Let's open up the twist tie here. And you can see it's all assembled and ready to go. We've got the drill with its magnetic base. The accessories are here in the bag with it. Comes with a bunch of extra collets and bits. Well, these are the tools. These would be the bits in nice packaging. Got the oil. This is probably a thing to hold that oil. Then we've got some removable knobs and a strap, as well as the hose for that oil for lubrication. So really enjoying this. This is a lot lighter than I thought it would be. I mean, it's definitely substantial. We've got the switch here, the on-off switch, and then the magnet switch. Pretty easy, but of course there's a manual there. We'll go through the manual and figure out everything. But then we can adjust. It's basically a portable drill press. You're going to put those knobs in to here, and then this will screw up and down like a drill press, only it's magnetically connected to your submarine or your boat or your RV or whatever it is that you're trying to drill holes in. This one can do 50 millimeters of depth. I want to thank Vevor for sending us this one to check out. I hope this helps.
Definitely cool. One of my life things has been to get a magnetic drill. So that's pretty awesome. Next up, we're going to take a look at, and am I allowed to bring this over? I'm not going to bring that over. We're going to take a look at the hose reel. This hose reel is pretty nice. Let's see what it looks like coming out of the box.
All right, I'm checking out this hose
Oh, you
reel.
know what? I don't
This
have
is
it
a
coming out of the
manual
box.
Hose reel from Vevor.
Screwed up the video coming out of the box. So let's just take a look at the hose reel once you take it out of the box.
All right, I'm checking out this hose reel. This is a manual hose reel from Vevor. And wow, is this thing well made. All stainless, really strong bolts to the wall. Comes with some really heavy duty hardware, instructions for everything. But this is how it comes out of the box. It's pretty much assembled. All you'll need to do is hook up your hose to the inside part there. Start to reel it in. It's got this nice thing to keep everything nice as it reels in. Now I have just pulled it out of the box, so I'll need to connect the handle here. But you can see, real easy to use handle. It's made out of metal. It's got the hardware, even the little tool to connect it. This is really a nice hose reel. Big upgrade from the plastic one we had before. Hope this helps.
Pretty neat. And like I said, I have a plastic and like aluminum one now, and it is not the same. So we already looked at the things, but let's take a look at how they come out of the box.
These driveways have a pretty good lump in them, so we're going to address that with these Vevor rubber ramps. This is the box that they ship in. Let's take them out of here. Like all Vevor stuff, they have the instructions right on the top. The instructions go over the rubber smill that you're going to get, and then how to install them. They're pretty much solid rubber construction. Hardware is included. This box is long and it is heavy, but it's not real thick.
That's what she said.
And they look like when they're in place. Nice and durable. Definitely not going to go anywhere. They filled the gap perfectly. All right. Hope that helps.
So that's those things that I couldn't be more impressed with. I've actually have a number, maybe 4 rubber ramps from Vevor that are for curbs, and use those in different places around the different places where there's curbs. But in this case, as you can see, there's this like curvy area, and there's a little bit of a depression, so it's kind of almost an S shape. And we knew that the neighbors had these, so they figured, why not try these Vevor ramps? So we put those in, and they fit perfect. Now, they also make them in different heights. The ones we have are the 2.5 inch. They make them in different heights. So if you had a steeper or less steep curve, even with a less steep curve, you might think, what's the point? but this weird like depression, it's hard to really see. Maybe you can see a little bit more back in the corner here. I'm assuming you can see my mouse. Yeah, you can barely see my mouse, but back here you can kind of see there's a little bit of a depression. So basically what you get is kind of a bounce there. It's almost like a speed bump. So what these Vevor ramps do is get rid of that speed bump. And I tried to explain in the video, there's a channel through the bottom so that as water's going through, they don't just become a dam. They allow water to go through. Now debris, leaves and stuff, that could be an issue. That's totally different. Here in Arizona, as you can see, I'm not sure how much they're going to deal with that, but we'll give you updates. If you have any questions, let me know. Let's see. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is this firewood rack, which you'd think is not a big deal, but it's one of those things where it's a nice gift idea, I suspect. And if you don't already have one, it makes it a little nicer for...
I've been looking for a
keeping
medium-sized
things
firewood rack, and this one is perfect. It's from Vevor. It has this flexible part so you can go outside, get your firewood, bring it in, and then this cool rack with the silhouettes of the elk fit like right in the handle.
Are they reindeer or
So
elk?
now you
What do
can
you
go get
think?
your firewood when you're empty. You just go back and go get more. Thought this was pretty cool. That's why I picked this one. They do make them in a little bit larger sizes depending on the size of your fireplace and how much wood you need to bring in. Great time of year, great gift idea. Hope this helps.
Welcome to everybody over on X. You are allowed to comment if you want. I should probably have a scroll going at the bottom that lets people know. Feel free to comment. We're here to talk about these things. So let's see. The next thing we'll talk about, speaking of talking about things, is a concrete sprayer. So have you ever needed to spray concrete?
This is the 5-gallon concrete sprayer from Vevor. It's a little bigger than the 3.5 gallon. It comes with this cart, and it's pretty nice because the sprayer is real heavy duty. It's all metal. You can lift it up out of the cart, and you can see that there's these little tabs that the base fits into, and then there's these tabs on top that catch on to the cart so that it's not going to fall over. The cart is real heavy duty. The wheels are solid rubber. So when it's full, it's going to be no problem carting this one around. Hope this helps.
Short and sweet, but it's a concrete sprayer. It's one of those jobs where it's annoying, but you can pump this up and get some pressure in there. And with a 5-gallon one, you're getting quite a bit of the job done, if not the whole job. It kind of depends on what all you're doing. It might be overkill for some small tasks, but if you're especially out here in Arizona, you could imagine spraying concrete can be one of those things that you have to put some time into. So I'm just kind of going through in random order, looking at the different items as they are, like I say, in the random order over on the Amazon side. So the next thing up in the list is this exhaust fan. And if you've got attics or I'm thinking a shed, sheds can get pretty hot and just get stagnant. And I think that just to keep depending on what your shed is, if it's a storage shed, keeping things in good shape, having a fan could be really useful. So it comes in a pretty big box, but most of it is protection so that the louvers, I think is what they're called, don't get damaged in shipping. Let's take a look at how it comes out of the box.
Needed a new exhaust fan. We're checking out this one from Vevor. This is how it arrives. Very well packaged.
Notice how their stuff is always in great shape. It's like they've been doing it for a while and they know how to get stuff to the customer in good shape.
Also in the bag, to keep down any scratches or anything. And you can see that there's also a nice piece of tape that'll need to be removed. And then we've got this box. Got a bunch of hardware. Instructions.
Seems like there's always a dog monitoring what I'm doing. You can hear him down there.
So we've got
he supervises the video productions.
Plates. Got the fan here. very heavy duty. We've got a fan going to the control, or a cord going to the control, and then a 3-prong outlet on a nice heavy cord for power.
So they're not kidding around. This is a nice fan.
And this way, it stays nice and closed for weather.
Bees and that kind of thing.
Out. Yeah. There's padding on the bottom of each of the venues. Cage on the back.
Louvers, I think is what
it's going to be easy to clean and easy to maintain.
Really nice.
With all the mounting hardware and instructions. Hope this helps.
86 people watching at this like little snapshot right now. So I want to say thanks. I'll pull this off the screen and just be fancy here for a second and try to get back to there. Yeah, 86 people watching. So feel free to ask questions about any of these. We've been using these now for a bit, and I've had some of them now longer than others. A lot of these they sent us to check out. A couple of these we've had for a long time. So let's see. The next thing is this wire grid. Oh, I need to bring it back.
Got this piece of grid wall from Vevor. This is the box that it ships in. It's not real big or heavy. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at it. Inside the main box, we have a smaller box with some of the parts. And then we've got just a couple of cardboard spacers. Then the grid walls themselves. These panels are broken down into halves. Of course, Vevor always has easy to follow instructions, and I'm pretty impressed that everything is zip tied together so that there's no issues in shipping. Really easy to assemble. It just took a moment or two to assemble each part. There's a top and a bottom that get assembled together, and then 2 screws on each of the uprights, and then adjustable footings so it can work on tile floors. It comes with a bunch of attachments as well, so you can hang all kinds of interesting things on here. Hope this helps.
Pretty cool. So I'm actually, as soon as I put it together, I started thinking about how I'm going to use it, and I almost need 2 more because there's so many ways to use this thing. Speaking of a tool that has many uses, we'll kind of bounce to the end of the list here and take a look at this converter. As I mentioned, for the people that are listening, because I've got this streaming out to a couple of different places and we're trying a different format tonight. This is where I just want to say thanks to everybody listening. And again, feel free to ask questions and then how you're watching or what, this might be listening as closed captioning or something. So feel free to type those questions in. So again, a tool with many uses would be this voltage
when I was looking
converter.
For a voltage converter, a transformer that's going to take us from 120 volts to 220 volts, I decided to get with this Vevor 5000 watt. Now they make a 2000 watt also, but this one is not that heavy. It's 28 pounds, just over 28 pounds. It's about 10 by 9 by 8, so it's not a very big form factor. I think this is going to be good. It's going to work great in a Radio Shack, in an RV, in a command center or something like that. What we're going to get is we plug in a 3-prong outlet, a standard 3-prong outlet to the machine, and then it can run off at 220. But we're going to set it to 120. We're going to then get 3 standard 3-prong grounded outlets. We're going to get 3 220s to 240s, and these are in the European set. Then we get a USB-C and a USB-A. These are 5 volt, 2 amps. There's 3 different types of surge protection as well. So for me, this unit, hands down, was the one to get. Hope this helps. I want to thank Vevor for sending us this one to check out. Really nice unit.
All right, so just having some conversations through the chats over on the YouTube side. So there's lots of people joining us all over the place tonight. 99, nice. So it's jumping up there. Wondering if this is people shopping. I'm assuming people shopping. Feel free to ask questions if there's anything on our list tonight that you've been interested in. I'm gonna kind of bounce back, and then we'll go through the list again. This was the voltage converter, as I was just talking about there. Then we're taking a look at this grid rack thing, the exhaust fan, the concrete sprayer, that firewood rack, those curb ramps, and the wall-mounted stainless steel hose reel. Really nice. I mean, that's just the nicest one I've seen in a bit. It almost seems, actually, I'll tell you a story about that when we get to it. Try to remind me. But it reminds me of one that we used to use in an industrial situation because of the stainless steel, so it could be cleaned. I guess that's the story. And then we got the drill mounted, or the magnetically mounted drill, the sausage stuffer, and then the push reel mower. We'll be taking another look at all of these, and then we'll wrap it up with the weather station when we get to that one. So coming back to the, well, you know what, let's do it a little bit so that you don't have to watch the second helping of the converter here, unless something comes up. Let's see if anybody's chatting over here. Appreciate DJ joining us. And if anybody else wants to chat, I think I'm allowed to bring the chats up on the screen like this. I can't bring them up from everywhere just because of the way the tech works, the way that the kind of pipes go in and out. They only go in and out from X and from YouTube, I think. But anyway, so instead of watching the next thing about the converter, let's go in. I'm talking about that.
Using
this hose reel. So like I said, I worked at a place doing doing maintenance on a bunch of restaurants, and they had a commissary, a place where they would make a lot of the food, and then that food would either be frozen or sent fresh after it was created or made each morning out to the restaurants with trucks. And I helped keep all the infrastructure going. And part of that infrastructure was the rooms where they did the industrial food preparation. And those rooms would have hoses to spray stuff down. If you can imagine a room that's going to slice roast beef all day long, it's going to have a bunch of roast beef slicers, and they're going to need to be cleaned. And they're on stainless steel, tables with really high legs. So anyway, they come in with hoses and just spray everything down, and then bleach everything, spray everything down so it can all be clean. And everything in the room was stainless steel. And that's what this hose reel reminds me of. It's just super solid, completely stainless steel. The only thing that isn't is this heavy duty guide for the hose up front. And then of course the hose, and it has some brass pieces there. But I'm really impressed with it. The thing is, I kind of told somebody they could have it, I think. So we're going to see if they're watching the video, they're going to claim it. Otherwise, I might sneak it because it's got the bolts. I'm thinking about sneaking it onto the brick portion of a place we've got. Anyway, let's take another look at this hose reel now that I've been chatting it up so much. What do you think of hose reels? Should they be on the ground? Should they be mounted to the wall? Or are you more of the retractable style, like the giant tape measure type? There's a kind that's like a giant tape measure stuck to your wall. Or are you like I've always been, just the person that lays it on the ground? My hoses have always just laid on the ground, but the dog pees on them and I step on them all the time. So I'm thinking trying to hose reel is the way to go. But let's watch this video. Feel free to answer some of those questions. We'll throw them up on the screen.
I'm using hose reels that sit on the ground, and they're made out of pipe and plastic. So I knew I needed an upgrade. So I decided to go with this Vevor. This is all stainless steel. It mounts to the wall. As you can see, there's really good mounts there. It comes with some impressive hardware. It's all metal construction, really well made brass fittings with loose kind of pivots. So once you put your hose in, everything's going to be nice, and then it'll connect up to the wall. So it's out of the way and secure. Really looking forward to using this one from Vevor. Hope this helps.
Pretty cool. So then we'll go back to that voltage converter. And it's pretty neat. Can't wait. I'm trying to get a Radio Shack kind of set up. And that's what this will be going into. Here's the problem. I can't remember which one we looked at first. Did we take it out of the box? I think we didn't. So I think we're going to watch this one.
Checking out this voltage converter. It's a transformer, 5,000 watt. This is real heavy duty. It can step up 120 into 240. It's from Vevor. This is the box it arrives in.
It's pretty windy that day.
Manual right off the bat. A 3-prong outlet that's going to plug into your 120 volt wall system. This is what it looks like with the styrofoam and the corner protectors. Let's pull it out of the box here. What's nice is I can pull this top stuff off. If I want to store it in here, this gives me everything I need to store it in the box. But once I pull the styrofoam and corner protectors off, I can lift it by its 2 handles, which makes it real easy to pull out and get ready to get into action. We'll pull the styrofoam off the bottom, and we can remove this plastic bag. Once it's out of the bag, you can see you've got 2 nice handles for movement, carrying it around. Got a circuit breaker over here on the side. That's handy. Once it's turned on, we'll turn it on. We've got USB ports. We've got output indicators. Of course, we have 3 standard power plugs, but then we also have the 220, 240 plugs as well. So this is truly a great unit if you're looking for portability and you're looking for true conversion from 120 up to 240. Now these sockets are set up for the EU standard, and there is a switch on the back if you want to plug this in to a 220 system. 3 levels of protection with an overload, short circuit, and overcurrent protection. And this is designed for 24/7 continuous use. Hope this helps. I'd like to thank Vevor for sending us this one to check out.
That almost worked where I was almost done typing. But kind of typing on the YouTube side as we're talking over here on the on everybody's side. Going back to that grid. Do I have a second video for the grid? I think we're watching that grid video again. Here we go.
Got this piece of grid wall from Vevor. This is the box.
At first, I thought I was going to leave it hanging on the wall. But now that I've seen it and how well it can stand freely, I think I'm going to, like I say, I think I have a couple more uses for it now.
Box that it ships in. It's not real big or heavy. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at it.
It's really just
inside
awkward.
The main box. We have a smaller box with some of the parts, and then we've got just a couple of cardboard spacers. Then the grid walls themselves. These panels are broken down into halves. Of course, Vevor always has easy to follow instructions, and I'm pretty impressed that everything is zip tied together so that there's no issues in shipping. Really easy to assemble. It just took a moment or two to assemble each part. There's a top and a bottom that get assembled together, and then 2 screws on each of the uprights, and then adjustable footings so it can work on tile floors. It comes with a bunch of attachments as well, so you can hang all kinds of interesting things on here. Hope this helps.
What would you be using that for? It does have hooks. I didn't bother to put them on there. Steven has one, and he had a bunch of hooks on it, and all the hooks went flying. So I already learned my lesson about putting hooks on until I need them. Well, I want to thank everybody for throwing the hearts and the likes and whatever it is. I do appreciate that. Feel free to leave comments as well. So I'm going to pull this down again just so that it's not there the whole time, and drop my little thing down so we can look at the puppy. Puppy's the co-host, but he gets all the fanfare. So we're going to go to that exhaust fan again, because, again, if you're trying to cool down, or I suspect just keep air moving through like a large area, this is a pretty decent, they're not kidding around with this fan. So I think I found it again. Let's check this out.
Needed a new exhaust fan. We're checking out this one from Vevor. This is how it arrives. Very well packaged. One reason I always trust Vevor. Nice box. As you can see that it's all in here with really nice padding. anything. Well, you can see that there's also a nice piece of tape that'll need to be removed. And then we've got let's move this box. Got a bunch of hardware and instructions in the box. So we've got the plates, got the fan here, very heavy duty. We've got a fan going to the control, or a cord going to the control, and then a 3-prong outlet on a nice heavy cord for power.
Oh, that's neat. I can see all the people that are clicking on the links over there. So glad people are finding things that are interesting. If you're buying them, awesome. And if you have any questions, let me know. Like, I've got all these things, and
easy to maintain.
Some of them are already installed. Some of these things we've had for a bit.
With all the mounting hardware and instructions. Hope this helps.
Gonna keep remembering where to click my fingers here, where to poke my fingers, and then where to double click. And I was thinking when we got back to the concrete sprayer, I think we looked at the vertical before.
We need
so
a new
let's take a look at it
sprayer.
coming out of the
got
box
this
here.
one from Vevor. This is the box that it shows up in. It's just about 20 pounds. It's a little tall, but it's not very heavy. Let's open it up and take a look at it.
It kind of reminds me of a giant
got
fire extinguisher.
Styrofoam here, and then the sprayer is pretty much ready to go in the box. Let's pull it out of there. It does come along with instructions, of course. We've got the sprayer nozzle, hose, the 5-gallon sprayer itself with the pressure thing on top. It's got the place for the hose, and then it also has a place for the wheels for the stand. Nice solid wheels. They're going to be real strong. All the hardware and even the tools to put it all together. Let's go ahead and get it together real quick. The threads on the frame are protected with these rubber.
I had to turn it off and
caps.
pull those off of there. They're on there so
It's
hard.
pretty nice. The handle
I had to use a screwdriver to get them off of there.
Goes together. Then there's a bolt that goes through to hold it. The sprayer body
So
fits
clever.
into the bottom
I really
of the cart,
like this
and
thing.
these 2 little prongs hold it on the back here. So it's pretty handy. It's not locked in, but it's definitely secure.
I really assumed it was going to be like bolted into the wheel cart
Everything's
thing,
easy to assemble,
which would make it
and
a
the
pain.
tools
and
are
it's
included
not.
to snug all the fittings down. So
It's
that
almost
there's no
like
leaks.
they've
All in
used
all, I'm
stuff
glad I
before.
went with this 5-gallon concrete sprayer from Vevor. Lots of extra gaskets. Easy to use, easy to assemble, very strong. Hope this helps.
I don't know how to give you a link. I'm going to try giving the link over here. So if anybody wants to jump over to the Amazon side and enjoy the view from that side, feel free. And it's I think you have to maybe click on live. I'm not sure if I can give you a link straight to it because I can't figure out this little button here won't do nothing when I click on, or maybe if I click on that, does it automatically copy? Let's find out. No. So if that link works, great. Like I say, that thing is well thought out. You can tell that they either consulted or have done concrete work. But Vevor is a big company. I would not be surprised if they've done some construction. So after the concrete sprayer, we're going to take another look at that kind of clever firewood rack. And I can't remember if we looked at, I think we looked at the box, opening the box before. The rack, I don't know if I really kind of explained it enough in the first video there. I think I explained a little bit better in this one. We've been doing like the longer video and the short videos as we kind of went up and down. I've been shuffling so that it's not like all the long videos and then all the short videos, but if you couldn't tell, there's like a short and a long for each of these. So I guess I could show
Been
on the
looking
screen.
for
This thing connects to the metal parts connect in such a clever way. It's like metal origami, I think. Is that the way to say it? And then you have this canvas part, which, you go outside, you gather your firewood. This is sort of like putting handles on your firewood. And then once you get inside, it's like a hammock. And now your firewood's laying in between here. Just super clever. I mean, maybe they've been around for a while and I just never knew about them, but I think it's pretty neat.
Medium-sized fire.
Here, I'll go back to the beginning.
Been looking for a medium-sized firewood rack, and this one is perfect. It's from Vevor. It has this flexible part so you can go outside, get your firewood, bring it in, and then this cool rack with the silhouettes of elk fit like right in the handle. And so now you can go get your firewood when you're empty. You just go back and go get more. Thought this was pretty cool. That's why I picked this one. They do make them in a little bit larger sizes depending on the size of your fireplace and how much wood you need to bring in. Great time of year, great gift idea. Hope this helps.
I haven't blown that thing up or nothing. I could take it out, but I'm not the guy that goes camping and brings that thing with me and then, you know what I mean? So I haven't taken it and stressed it or nothing. You probably could, though. It'd be an interesting thing to do. And I know Greg wouldn't care. You'd get along great with Greg. In fact, I'd like to see you guys go head to head with a Name That Tune or something. That's one of the things we've done over on the YouTube channel. Let's see. So now we're going to go to the, and like I say, I really didn't. I'm going to go back to the first video and see when I'm assembling it, when I discover, see how I think that those are the legs to it. They actually kind of are like pegs, and those pegs go into here. So this is almost like it's on stilts. So these are actually the feet of the firewood holder, and the design of this gives it its shape. So it's just really clever. Here, I'm putting it together here.
Precisely. That it's that simple.
See?
To set it up.
Just super neat. And then the hammock part spans across. Simple, but pretty much everything's on sale right now because of the big deal. We're going to go back to the what do you call these things? The driveway curb ramps. And we already looked at them coming out of the box. So, actually, we looked at this one too, but it's a quick one.
The street said these gutters, which are kind of rounded, but they make for kind of a scoop when you go into the driveway. So these Vevor ramps, these, I guess, rubber curb ramps, are solid rubber, really well made. They're going to stay put. There's anchors if you want to put them in securely, and they are going to kind of bridge that gap. Make it much easier to transition into the driveway. That's why we picked these. Hope this helps.
They asked if I wanted the fruit press, and I think I said no. I should have taken it. Because now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that would be great. Apples are super cheap right now. Washington apples are super cheap right now. All right, so again, I really think this thing worked out, and let's see. The next thing would be, looks like a bunch of people have grabbed the hose reel. I think what did we do the first time with the hose reel? I don't have it coming out of the box. I think we looked at it horizontal. Let's look at it vertical this time.
And using hose reels that sit on the ground, and they're made out of like pipe.
A bunch of people have clicked on this one.
An upgrade. So I decided to go with this Vevor. This is all
neat.
stainless steel.
It tells me. I can't really show you on the screen.
As you can see, there's
talking
really
over myself here.
Mounts there. It comes with some impressive hardware. It's all metal construction. Really well made brass fittings with loose kind of pivots. So once you put your hose in, everything's going to be nice, and then it'll connect up to the wall. So it's out of the way and secure. Really looking forward to using this one from Vevor. Hope this helps.
So over here, because on the Amazon side, I can click on the thing and then it shows up on the screen. So it's kind of helpful for everybody. And I guess that is helpful because a mess of people have clicked on all of these really, but that one for sure. Now we're going back to one of my favorite things ever. I mean, this is what it's all about. It's this kind of stuff.
Checking out this Vevor magnetic base drill press. So this has a magnetic base. This black part is an electromagnet. So you're going to plug it in. It has a pretty long cord with a 3-prong outlet here. Comes along with a bunch of collets and then a whole bunch of different bits of different diameters.
Bits.
Lubrication oil
Bit.
chamber and a holder for that. But let's take a look at how easy it is to operate. You're going to operate it like a standard drill press, up and down. Only difference is it doesn't need to be up and down. It could be sideways, even upside down, because your magnetic base here is going to attach it to whatever it is you want to drill holes in. So you're going to turn it on and off. That's pretty easy. You've got a switch here for the electromagnet. So this magnet isn't just a regular magnet. This is an electromagnet. Electricity creates the magnetism. Then you've got a reverse or forward. So it's going to go left or right, clockwise or counterclockwise. And then this is a speed, so how fast you want the drill to go. So it's a very nice drill press, only instead of being connected to your workshop or your workbench, it's connected to an electromagnet with this switch. You just set it to whatever you want to connect it to or whatever you want to drill a hole in and go to work. Hope this helps.
DJ was just asking an interesting question over there. I was answering. So, yeah, we're having kind of, you know what? I don't even have it on live chat. I'm sorry. I had it on top chat. There might be a whole bunch of people over here asking questions. I don't think I missed anything, though. But, yeah, if you can ask questions, if you have a comment or something on one of these, let me know. Like I say, we've had some of these now for a while. These videos aren't, like, all brand new. Some of these are actually from earlier in the year. DJ was asking about the cart. I'd use a cart pretty much a couple of 3 times every week, usually. And I mean, it is standing up to my big fat dog drives around in it. So it's got the weight of that big fat dog in it all the time. But I'm always like slamming it into curbs, not like intentionally. I just know it can handle it. And it isn't even getting loose or nothing. Like, it is super rugged. Anyway, no, but I didn't put it in the list here. I was just telling them that I can't. Excuse me, it's going to be 11 p.m. here. I can't add things on the fly for whatever reason yet. Maybe they'll add that feature. That would be cool. All right. So, again, as I go over here and click on the things so that they show up on the screen, it's cool to see how many people have been clicking on these things. We're going to take another look at the sausage stuffer, and I'm pretty sure we looked at the quick one before. So let's take a more in-depth look at how this sausage stuffer comes out of the box. This is not a small sausage stuffer. This is a 5-pound, or is it a 10? I think it's a 10-pound sausage stuffer.
She said we needed a new sausage stuffer. So this one is from Vevor, and this is about 24.
I'll start that again.
She said we needed a new sausage stuffer. So this one is from Vevor. And this is about 24 pounds. You can see how big the box is. So let's open it up and take a look at it. There's our directions. Vevor always puts them right on the top. Pull off the styrofoam. You can see that it's basically fully assembled in here. Let's take it out and take a look at it. Yep, it's literally completely ready to go. As soon as you get it out of the box, you'll just need to put on your extrusion tube, depending on if you want thick, thin, or skinny sausages, hot dogs, I guess. And then you've got 2 different adjustments over here. You've got quick and you've got slow. So depending on how fast you want to move this, if you really want to get it up and down, then you use the higher crank gears. See how fast that moves the pin. Or if you want to be a little slower, you can go that way. Once you bring this thing all the way up, of course, comes with a couple of gaskets. Then you can pull that container out for cleaning. Very strong, all stainless, easy to clean. Another excellent product from Vevor. You can always trust them with things like this. Hope this helps.
They know how to weld, I tell you what. So who's looking for a sausage stuffer? That one is not messing around. I guess sometimes when you look at the pictures, you're like, oh yeah, that'll fit where I'm thinking. And then you're like, oh no, I judged poorly. That's a very large sausage stuffer. So luckily they make sheds. They make more room for workshops and things. So you have more room to spread out. All right, so let's see. I use this to tell us what's next, and that'll be. Oh, I was thinking the hose thing. I'm going the other way. That would be the push lawnmower. So again, in here in Arizona, we don't have
Needed
luscious
a
yards of grass, so we have little patches of grass or Bermuda grass. I don't know if the rest of the country has Bermuda grass, or you certainly don't have it like out here. Probably it's like a spider grass. It's like having a spider plant or something that kind of grows on the ground. So it sort of looks like grass from afar, but when you're walking in it, it's kind of like walking through really weird barbed wire or something. So I could see one of these being good to kind of chop it down. That little white thing is a gauge to determine how high off the ground the little blades are going to whirl. So, you put that thing up as high as it'll go in the Bermuda grass, and it might do a pretty good job. Anyway, that's what we're going to be using it for. And let's take a look. How many people have used one of these? Would this work for where you're at? Most of y'all have massive grass patches. This would be probably look like Arnold Schwarzenegger at the end of Conan, or like at the end of his youth in Conan after pushing that log around, if you were using one of these to try to mow your lawns.
Needed a new push mower.
But I don't feel sorry for you because you choose lawns. Here we go.
I decided to go with this Vevor. You can always trust Vevor. This is their 18-inch. Don't want to get my hands too close there. Really good gearing on this. The blades work great. There is an adjustment guide here, so you can adjust those if necessary. It was mostly complete when I got it in the mail. All I had to do was set up the handle and like put the basket on the back. It snaps right on. So this was a real easy 10-minute job to get ready to go. And now we can mow without power. Really looking forward to that with this 18-inch Vevor push mower. Hope this helps.
Super strong. And we had one, or my friend had one that I didn't help put it together or nothing, but I did kind of push it around a couple of times because it was bringing back memories. I had one of these when I was a kid and I hated it. But I had a massive amount of grass to cut with it. And for some reason, it was probably punishment to make me do use this thing. But the ones we had when I was a kid were not as strong as this for sure. They were really weird. And my friend's is kind of reminiscent of that. This is much more sturdy. It seems like to me they actually built this for people that are actually using it. And the thing is, I think they use these on golf courses and stuff, right? Like when you want precision cutting, I think that might be what this is. I really don't know. Like I say, grass ain't my thing. So the next thing and the last thing, or the first thing, depending on which way you're looking at it and how you perceive of these kind of things, would be or is the weather station. And I'm pretty sure we looked at the quick one before. So whenever I find it here, we're going to take a look at this cool weather station. I have one, like I say, these things, some of these we've had for a long time, and some of these we just got. Some of them I've given to people to use, and some of them I've used here. And this is one that I'm a big fan of. So let's take a look at it.
Checking this out. This is the box that it comes in. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. It's not real heavy. We'll open it up. Oh, it should be really nice from Vevor. Let's see what it will slide right off the side here. We've got the instructions for the weather station. This is going to go up on top of the roof. The other side is going to go inside the house, and it's going to give us all of our information. So you can see that it comes in this nice package. Everything is assembled. All you'll need to do is put this portion up on the roof. So you don't have to put anything together. It has the wind vane for direction. And then we've got the thing for speed. It'll collect rain for rainfall. You will want to make sure that it's lined up with the level there. You'll want to remove this and this right before you install it. And then there's this post here. And that's where the hardware comes in. We've installed one of these on our roof in the past, and it was real simple. This power supply is for the screen that goes indoors. This isn't everything you need to get everything from rainfall to wind speed, wind direction, temperature, and you get all that displayed inside with comparison to your indoor weather as well, or temperatures as well. This is from Vevor. I always trust them with my weather station needs. Hope this helps.
Yeah, I've had some really inexpensive weather stations that kind of got me. What is that noise? What is that noise? Oh, it's my stupid watch. Where's my watch making that noise? I have no idea why my watch started doing that. Sorry about that. That really caught me off guard. Oh, I said I was talking about how I got my first little weather station thing, which was basically just a little thing you put outside with a battery in it. And then it's like an LED screen, has the temperature outside, the temperature inside. But that kind of got me hooked because my grandpa had one when I was a kid, I think. And it was much more elaborate. I remember drilling a hole through the door, like through the wall, and feeding a little copper line that if you messed it up, it was like a sealed copper system there. So you had this really thin copper hose, whatever, anyway, to get to the probe. And I mean, that was just the way they did stuff back in the day. And this is so different. And anyway, so then I ended up getting a thing that's just a more elaborate version of that with humidity and this and that. And then when I got the first Vevor weather station, that's just like this one, where it does the air speed, it's just so much nicer. You hear a bump or a noise, you'll look up, you see that it's like 11 mile an hour winds, and you're like, oh, okay. You're not concerned that somebody's breaking in when you know it's about to be a tornado outside. Let's see. DJ saying, growing up, I used to like seeing the different rain meter catchment things people would have in their yards. Yeah, right. Like we'd have the little bucket with lines on it. Well, a little cup thing with lines on it, and you'd have that somewhere outside your window. But you know what I mean? Like the butt is that if it was raining and that was on the side of the house with the rain, you got probably more rain in it, you splash and everything. And if it was on the side of the house, we got a bunch of people clicking on that weather station too. Yeah, that is neat. I'll have to show you sometime, or maybe I can show it after the thing. Oh, look, some of them get like a little hot thing when, I don't know if that's because it's a good deal or if it's because a lot of people are clicking, because that's one of the ones that most people are clicking on is that hose reel, but it's got a little fire thing next to it, a little fire emoji. Anyway, yeah, we would have one of those things. I don't know if they were ever accurate. This thing's up on your roof, like up in the air, like a weather vane. So there's nothing to interfere with it collecting rain, I guess is what I'm getting at. But anyway, I have really dug it. So I think that's one of those things where if you have, it's like, I don't know where I'm supposed to do about prices or whatever. It's a very economical investment, in my opinion, for either a gift or for yourselves. Now, if you live in an apartment like Gizzard, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you get like suction cups or something, stick it on a window, something like that. But whatever you end up doing, if you're able to get it. I'm even thinking of setting one up when we go camping and stuff, even though that's super nerdy, just because you could have it technically like in a container, like a box, and then when you get camping or whatever, have a pole or something like a magnetic base that you put on the side of a vehicle with a pole, and then just have that out. I don't know. It's nerdy. I don't know if you'd need that for anything, but might be neat. I think there are weather stations you can get. This is like I say, an economical one. This one I'm allowed to talk about. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about prices, but this is a sale right now. But there are more elaborate ones out there. I don't know if Vevor even makes these or not, but I know there's more elaborate ones that when you turn it on, and if there's a Wi-Fi signal available to it, it connects to that Wi-Fi signal and then uploads its information to the cloud, so that, what am I trying to say? Like, the knowledge in general, the weather system, NOAA, I guess, knows you're like now a node, like you're an information gatherer. So that would be pretty neat. And that's where I'm thinking it might be neat to take it camping with you if you could have that and a what's that thing called? Starlink. You turn on your Starlink because you're going to be using the internet anyway, and then this thing just trickles weather information up to NOAA. How cool would that be? And I think it would just be also cool. I don't know, if you journal your camping or your events, maybe you're off-roading or maybe you're like skiing or bicycling or whatever people do, bird watching even, is that something that you archive in a notebook? Like bird watchers, I bet you they do. But do they take a weather station with and like actually get the actual information where they're at? And it would really just be, I just know from the Starlink that you get these magnetic bases that are designed to hold the Starlink antenna, and they're for magnets. Now you could do it for suction cups also, but they're basically like a base. The suction cups are the magnets that hold onto your vehicle, and then provide a pole or a base for the Starlink. You just replace your weather station with the Starlink. Or maybe there's something that can combine the two even. Maybe we just invented something. Anyway, I just think that might be neat. But that being said, that's what we looked at. I'm going to go through and just talk about this stuff one more time before we end it. But we were talking about this weather station from Vevor, that push lawnmower, the 18-inch push lawnmower, the sausage stuffer. And again, that's probably about the medium. No, that's actually the smallest of theirs. Not the smallest, but the smallest of the big size. They have two larger ones, in other words. I don't really know how many smaller ones they have, but they have at least two larger sausage stuffers out there. That drill, I believe, is on the large size. They might have one larger, but that is a pretty hefty magnetic drill press. It's actually called the magnetic drill press, I think. The Vevor stainless steel wall hose reel. Let me know. Like I say, I can't believe how many clicks we got over there. Thanks to everybody who's been clicking on that. Give me some feedback in the comments on what your opinions is on that. We looked at the rubber curb ramps, which definitely have been a big improvement over, like, you can imagine, like, it's the opposite of a speed hump every time you go into your driveway, and that eliminates it. Now it's just like driving up a little bit of a hill into your driveway. The firewood rack, like I said, it's pretty neat. And because it kind of goes together so simply, that firewood rack could come apart as simply. So during the parts of the year where you don't need firewood, you could have that thing like come apart and kind of be, out of the way. We had looked at that 5-gallon industrial concrete sprayer. So again, really heavy duty. Again, the heavy duty exhaust fan, if you're going to be trying to cool or move air in a pretty large space. That was a heavy duty fan with louvers, so it's kind of install it and forget it type of thing. That grid wall, and again, I'm curious to see what other people would do with that grid wall, because I've already got a couple of things I'm going to do with it. And then that last thing was that voltage converter. I'm going to be using mine in the Radio Shack. I don't know what kind of other projects people might be doing where they convert voltage like that, maybe in an auto shop. But anyway, thanks DJ for joining, and others who are out there. We had a ton of people. We definitely hit the 200 mark a while back. I kind of quit watching just because we've been chatting. So thanks to the people chatting, and been chatting in the text over here because I didn't want to say everything while I was talking, like interrupt myself, I guess. But it looks like, yeah, we've already addressed everything, and we've kind of gone up and down. I forget how many items there were in here tonight. Does it say anywhere? I kind of remember when I was setting it up, or I seen the number when I was setting it up. I don't remember. There might have been like 16 things in here tonight. So we kind of went through 16 things and then kind of went back down, up and down the list, I guess. So let me know about the format whenever you're watching this. If you can leave comments, I'm curious what you think about this new format. It worked out the way I expected. So this is kind of what I was going for. It filled the screen. I was down at the bottom here without, taking up a lot of the space, and hopefully the sound and everything worked well. So looking forward to that feedback. I'm going to go ahead and end it on Amazon. So that's sort of the goodbye to Amazon, and that stream needs to be an hour, and it's kind of a hit or miss thing. It's like, I don't really know. There's not a timer, but it looks like I hit it this time. an hour and 3 minutes. So I'm glad enough at the end there to get across the finish line. It's like there's a finish line and I know it's coming. I just don't know exactly where it is. This timer says I have a minute and 6. That one says I have a minute and 3. So you know what I'm saying?
And welcome everybody.
What's
I'll
happening?
need to send a message to start the conversation, so I'll do.
Okay, that is me starting over there again. All right, I don't know if DJ took off already or not, but now we're just on X, who's all everywhere. So we have a bunch of people on X and a bunch of people on YouTube. So nobody's saying anything but DJ. Over there, nobody was saying anything either, but I suspect it's a lot of phones over there. I haven't done enough Amazon Lives to know what to expect. Maybe if I did different products, if I was talking about crafts stuff, maybe. And it's also a weird time of night to be talking about kind of general tool stuff. But we'll see. So if anybody wants to chat, we can chat a little bit. What is this, Tuesday night? It is Prime, so if there's anything, any questions you got about that by any chance, feel free to let me know. And I'm going to try to figure out, how do I maybe just delete this song? Why is it even playing a song? That's what I want to know. No. Are you even a song player? What the hell? Is this thing malfunctioning? I mean, it is malfunctioning. Why can't I, 1, delete this song completely, and 2, why is it even in the stupid menu? Like, why does it even exist? I didn't ever ask it to have a music player. I wonder if there's a way for me to, here we go, shortcuts. Sorry, I got distracted because my watch, all of a sudden, it's not even a smartwatch, it's a dumb watch. All of a sudden, it started to play that weird song that I think is just some default song sitting in it. So now that it's over on Amazon, I can look at the numbers and see, wow, a whole bunch of people, way more people watch stuff on Amazon, it turns out, but it is Prime Day. Well, yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. I gave you all time to say stuff. Nobody said nothing. So we're ending it. Do I have media assets for over here? What is this? Video clips. All right, so if I say this and then set an outro, oh, this is an intro. That's a countdown, so that's not much of an outro. Sorry, I'm mumbling. Trying to find if I had an outro for this channel. I set it up on a new channel over here on StreamYard. All right, I don't, so we'll end it, and thank you again for joining. Like DJ says, have a good rest of your nights.